Hey, dreamers, welcome back to your Dream Coach podcast, where we talk about building your life and business from the inside out through leadership, fulfillment, and growth. I'm your host, Shayla Wey. I'm a small business coach, team builder, and forever believer that when you tap into your vision, everything changes. And so today's episode is one that I've been wanting to record for a while, and it's called The Power of Vision-Driven Leadership. And before you scroll past thinking, oh, I've heard that before, stick with me. Because what I have found in working with small business owners, team leaders, and aspiring entrepreneurs is most people don't actually have a vision problem. They have a clarity and commitment problem. So I want to talk about what vision-driven leadership really is and why it's the secret to building your dream life and a business that actually lasts. So I want to define this first, not from a textbook, but what I have seen firsthand is what is vision-driven leadership? Well, vision-driven leadership means you make decisions based on where you're going, not just where you are. So it's the opposite of reactive leadership. So it's not about checking boxes or putting out fires. It's about leading from purpose. So it's about being the kind of person who doesn't just chase goals, but builds something worth following. And I want to be clear, this is just as true if you're leading a team of 10 as it is if you're leading yourself in a solopreneur season. And what I have found is that without a vision, people don't burn out because they're doing too much. They burn out because they're doing too much of the wrong stuff. So vision gives you a compass. So I have coached dozens of leaders who hit the successful milestones, revenue, followers, client load, but felt like something was missing. And it's because they built without a blueprint. They have no North Star. So vision gives you permission to say yes to the right things and no to the rest. And when I clarified my own vision to help small business owners lead with fulfillment, not just force, it became so much easier to filter opportunities, team decisions, and even how I spend my mornings. So something that I've seen again and again is that when your vision is clear, the right people find you. Vision attracts the right people. Clients, team members, partners, they're not just buying what you do, they're buying what you believe. And I had a client that was in the skincare industry whose sales were flatlining. We stripped everything back to her vision and helping women feel confident without needing filters or quick fixes. And when she led with that, the brand came alive. Sales followed, but only after the vision came first. So people don't just follow vague goals, right? They follow clarity, passion, direction. Your dream life needs people to feel in alignment with who you are. And you don't just get that without showing them where you're going. And so the next one that I've kind of found about that's a little bit more personal is that vision is going to ground you during those hard seasons. And I have found in my own business is that vision is absolutely what has kept me going when nothing else is working. It really is your anchor. There have been seasons when I have had major challenges in business, and things were not flowing the way that I wanted to. And if I was only focused on the finances or the metrics or the validation, I would totally have quit. But when I've gone back to my vision, building a life of freedom, helping leaders actually love what they do, showing my kids what purpose looks like, traveling, living a life by design, that kept me in the game. So vision doesn't always mean it's easy. It just means it's always worth it. Now, vision isn't static. It evolves. Now, this is something I've definitely had to learn over time, is that your vision will evolve as you evolve. And that's a really good thing. I used to think vision had to be fixed, like you lock it in and chase it forever. But what I found is that the most aligned leaders regularly pause to revisit and refine their vision. If you don't, you risk climbing a ladder that's leaning against the wrong wall. You might start a business to make money, but then you realize you want to make more impact. Or you build for freedom and realize you also crave community, and that's okay. Vision is allowed to grow with you. So as long as you stay in relationship with it, okay, that will come to fruition. Now, when you're trying to stay reconnected with your vision, I know that for me, I kind of call them chapters, where I'll put visions together, usually in a 3-year window. And as that 3-year approaches, I really have to remind myself that I have to reconnect with that vision. And I remind a lot of coaching clients as well that when we put together a vision and a plan, we always can adjust that. So we don't have to make decisions today that are for forever. Nothing is forever. So what are the decisions we need to make, let's say for this next year, to get us where we want to be in 3 years? Then we can pause, come up for air, and then we can reevaluate. And I've even done this in my personal life, for decades, because every 3 years, there's new chapters that we're approaching. And so to reconnect with that vision, if you're listening and thinking, oh man, I don't even know what my vision is anymore, you're definitely not alone. So I want to give you 3 prompts that I come back to often in my life and that I also use with my clients. The first one is, if everything went right in the next 3 years, what would your life look like? So not just in your business, but your mornings, your relationships, your energy, right? Starting there is just giving yourself an opportunity to pause and really think about, man, what would that look like? The second question I like to ask myself and also my clients is, what frustrates you about your industry or what you do right now, right? And what would you do differently? Hey, often your dream starts with something you want to fix. Now, I know in some industries, and I know with even some of my clients, we can't necessarily fix everything that we're frustrated with, but some things we do have control over. So, what are some of those things that maybe don't feel in alignment that by just shifting those or recognizing that, maybe we could delegate, maybe we could delete, maybe we could have a conversation with our boss, we could have a conversation with ourselves and say, how do we fix this? How do we shift that? And the third thing is, if you removed fear and pressure, what would you love to create? Because your dream isn't supposed to feel like a trap. So much of anxiety and fear of failure is what hasn't even happened yet. And I'll often say to clients is that when we have a plan, that gives us confidence. I know for myself, when I'm well planned, I'm well organized, I know the direction where I'm going with my business, I feel a lot more fun and playful in the day to day. A lot of that fear and pressure comes from not knowing, right, where I'm going with the business. So taking that time to just zoom out and really plan all areas of your business and then your personal life too. Now, when you get quiet and you ask better questions, vision starts to rise to the surface. And when you lead from that place, it really changes everything. Now, I want to give you some stories to really bring this to life. And this is where vision is become an action, even just with some clients that I've worked with. So one of my clients ran a team of realtors and they were burnt out, they were disengaged, and they were really only focusing on numbers. When we recentered on her vision, the team, to really create a team that thrived in work and life, everything shifted. They started sharing wins beyond sales. They took Fridays off, and retention actually started to go up. Right? Another client of mine is a mom running a business, and her vision wasn't just growth, it was showing her daughters what's possible. So when she leaned into that, she started to say no to more low value tasks and say yes to the visibility. That kind of scared her. And then her confidence just skyrocketed. So regardless of the business or the situation, is that the bottom line is that vision breathes life into the boring parts of business. It reminds you why you started and it becomes your fuel. So I want to leave you with this, is that your vision is your legacy. Your vision isn't just about goals. It's your legacy in motion. It's how you lead when no one's watching. It's the values that you pass on to your kids. It's the energy that people feel when they work with you. When you get clear on that and you lead from that place, your business becomes an extension of your dream. And not just a dream for you, but for every person who's impacted by your leadership. That's the power of vision-driven leadership. So I hope this episode sparks something for you, a reminder of who you really are and where you're going. If you've been building a vision or been building without that vision, or your dream kind of feels blurry, maybe today is the day to reconnect with it. So thanks for hanging with me. If this resonated, share it with a teammate, business bestie, or even a fellow dream chaser. And if you are loving the podcast, you know the drill. Leave a review, tag me on Instagram so that I can cheer you on. Until next time, lead with vision, lead with purpose, and dream with your whole heart. You have got this.